Hello class, your lesson plan project is due next week. You will be using the Wiregrass lesson plan template located in your project folder. Tonight I'm going to review a completed template to show you how to fill one out correctly. There is also a PowerPoint in the project folder if you need additional help. You may wish to pause the video now while you download the template. After you finish the video, go to peach.decal.ga.gov to select the standard for your lesson. Fill out the cover page tonight along with the standard, which is located in the first box on page 2. Tomorrow we will review your work and I will show you how to write an objective.
Okay, we're going to go over the Wiregrass lesson plan template. This section up here is only if you are in your practicum or internship, so don't worry about that. This is one lesson that I did a couple of years ago. I put the name of the lesson, listen and draw, my name, your name section. ECCE course, this is the course number. So for Intro to Early Childhood, it's going to be 1101. The title of your lesson again here. The age that you have selected, or the grade level. Your domain or developmental area. So you'll choose from physical, intellectual, cognitive, emotional, social. Choose one. Some lessons or activities can overlap, but for this particular space, we're only choosing one of the developmental domains. For your curriculum area or subject, you'll choose one. So in this case, it was language and literacy. For your learning style, for the multiple intelligences, you can choose all that apply. Verbal linguistic, logical mathematical, naturalist, science, visual, body kinesthetic, musical, intrapersonal, or interpersonal. So choose as many of these as apply to your lesson. Your group size, is it a small group? Is it a large group? Is it individual? Be sure to include that. Your location, is this on the carpet? Is it at the tables? Is it on the playground? Your supplies and equipment, materials needed. Make sure that you list all supplies needed both for yourself as the teacher and for your students. If you have used any children's literature, include the title and the author. Any spaces that do not apply, include NA for not applicable. Never leave a space empty. Standard type, so for this it was a GELDS for preschool, or for school age you would use the Georgia Standards of Excellence. Be sure to list your resources so that you're not plagiarizing. This particular lesson came from Teachers Pay Teachers. Once again, the evaluation section is only for practicum and internship. Do not worry about this for ECC 1101. For your standard, once you go to your GELD site or the Georgia Standards of Excellence, you will get the entire standard. It's easiest to copy and paste if you're able to do that. Make sure you have your standard and any indicators that you use. This is the only space right here for the essential question that you can leave blank, and we'll go into essential questions and how to write those at a later date. Your objectives, you'll start with a verb. What can your student do? Look at your standard. We're going to talk about objectives tomorrow and how to properly write those. You need to have an opening or an activator to get all the kids interested. It can be a game. In this case, I used a video. It can be a discussion you have. In your work session, you're going to list everything that you're doing from the beginning to the end of the lesson. It's easiest to number these and follow them almost like a recipe card. You need to have these detailed enough so that if a substitute was coming to teach your lesson, they wouldn't have any questions. They would be able to read your instructions and follow exactly what you have written. For your closing summarizer, how will all the students share what they've learned or liked about the lesson? So you need to have some activity or discussion or something so that the children can wrap up what they've learned. Your hot questions are higher order thinking questions. These are related to Bloom's taxonomy. We'll discuss that tomorrow as well. So why, how, more than one word answers. You don't want to ask yes and no answer or yes and no questions. And assessment, how were you going to check for learning? These should match your objective and your standard. Your objective, standard, and assessment should always align. If you have transitions, and you will have a few within your activity and then moving on to your next activity, so transitions can be from one activity to another within your lesson. It can be from one space to another. So list how you're going to move the children or change their attention. And how are you going to differentiate these lessons for different styles of learning or disabilities or even gifted students? You should always have something in mind because you're going to have to think on your feet. So put a little thought into how would you switch this up if you had a child at your table that needed a little more help or who was a little bit above of what you were teaching the rest of the children. How would you make it more challenging for them? And then list any technology you use. So the iPads, smart boards, recording devices, anything that you're going to use in your lesson that's technology related, listed here. So it's not difficult. If you have any more questions, there is a PowerPoint located in the project folder. And be sure to ask me in class as well, and I will see you tomorrow.